haven't heard.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt.
Good morning. We're coming on the air with breaking news in Southern California, where Los Angeles County and city officials are about to update on those devastating out-of-control wildfires, at least 3 tearing through densely populated areas of L.A. The numbers are astounding. 80,000 people are already under mandatory evacuation orders, and those fast-moving fires are still 0% contained. Videos and our live cameras showing the fires burning down entire neighborhoods. This unfolding disaster is a result of 3 fires fueled by incredibly strong winds, burning through nearly 5,000 acres, including 3,000 from the Palisades fire alone. 19 million people are at risk of fire danger right now in Southern California, stretching all the way down to the border. Let's join that news conference now in Los Angeles.
Chief Maroney, as well as Chief Crowley, for the work that they are doing to make sure that our first responders have all the resources necessary. Chief Maroney.
So good morning. Thank you, Supervisor Barger. My name is Anthony Maroney. I am the County of Los Angeles Fire Chief, and I'm also the Region 1 Coordinator for Fire and Rescue Resources. I'm going to be giving an update on the Palisades fire in addition to the Eaton fire, although I am aware that we have 4 large fires burning in LA County at this time. The Palisades fire is located in both LA City and LA County. We are in unified command with the City of Los Angeles Fire Department in addition to CAL FIRE. We have well over 5,000 acres that have burned, and the fire is growing. We have no percentage of containment. We have an estimated 1,000 structures destroyed, and also no reported fatalities, and a high number of significant injuries to residents who did not evacuate, in addition to first responders who are on the fire line. We have over 1,000 personnel assigned, and the cause of the fire is unknown. However, it is under investigation. For the Eaton fire, it is located in both the Angeles National Forest, the Altadena area of LA County, and Pasadena. LA County is in unified command with both the Angeles National Forest and the Pasadena Fire Department. We have over 2,000 acres burning at this time, and the fire continues to grow with 0% containment. We have over 500 personnel assigned, and unfortunately, we have 2 reported fatalities to civilians. Unknown cause at this time, and we do have a number of significant injuries. We have over 100 structures destroyed, and the cause of the fire is unknown and under investigation. I will ask that LA City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley update you on the Hearst fire after I am finished with my remarks. The LA County Fire Department operational area consists of 29 separate fire departments in LA County, and all of those fire departments are at drawdown with no fire apparatus or additional personnel to spare. As the Region 1 Coordinator, I have requested mutual aid from the 5 counties of Orange, Los Angeles, Ventura, Santa Barbara, and San Luis Obispo counties. Additionally, last night, I contacted the State Office of Emergency Services and requested 50 engine strike teams. 50 engine strike teams is composed of 250 fire engines and over 1,000 personnel. We have also requested resources from out of state, as well as Northern California. Thank you to the first responders from Nevada, Oregon, and Washington State that are already on the road coming to LA County to assist. Lastly, the National Weather Service has predicted a continued red flag weather event with strong winds and low humidities. placing all residents of Los Angeles County in danger. To all of our viewers, please prioritize your safety as well as the well-being of those around you as we come together to continue to get through this widespread disaster. Los Angeles County firefighters will remain on the front line until we reach full containment, and we ask that you keep all of Los Angeles County in your thoughts and prayers. I would now like to invite up Los Angeles City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley to give her briefing. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen Crowley, Los Angeles City Fire Department Fire Chief. I'd like to start with just a moment, if we could, of gratitude. A moment of gratitude for our first responders, our boots on the ground that are battling this intense and multiple jurisdiction and number of fires. So gratitude to those who are doing the work since yesterday through the night. And like Chief Maroney said, we're going to continue to work hard to ensure that we save people, lives, and property. With that, I'll be touching on a couple major points. With the Pacific Palisades fire, we know that it continues to demand a significant amount of resources and attention. A second major brush fire, now referred to as the Hearst Fire, has erupted in the Sylmar area of Los Angeles. Now, together, these fires are stretching the capacity of emergency services to their maximum limits. The Los Angeles City Fire Department is battling these two major fires while also maintaining, I want to focus on this as well, 911 services for the city's approximate 4 million residents. Now, despite the severity of the conditions, our department remains fully committed to safeguarding lives and property. Next, I want to focus on what we've done over the last 24 hours. And with that, even within the city of Los Angeles, with these two major brush fires, our department has responded to 3,624 911 calls for service. And to put that in perspective, our average is just under 1,500 calls in a 24-hour period. Over the last 24 hours, we've also responded to an additional 32 structure fires within the city. We've treated and transported an extensive number of medical emergencies, well extending our normal 650 transports to the local hospitals. When it comes to the Pacific Palisades fire, as Chief Maroney had said, this is over 3,000 acres at this point and continues to grow. We will confirm the exact acreage later, so we'll make sure that we also communicate that to the community and to the media. Last night, as of 1930 hours, all aircrafts were grounded due to the high winds. Aircraft are continued to be able to resume their water drops and acreage mapping today when the weather allows us to do so. A total of 3,398 civilians and 15,105 structures are in the evacuation zone. And again, the evacuation zones are the following: north of PCH, west of Kenter Avenue and San Vicente Boulevard, south of Mulholland Drive, and east of Topanga Canyon Boulevard. There are multiple evacuation centers which are supported by the American Red Cross. Injuries. Of course, there's a lot of interest in injuries. We have several firefighters and civilian injuries that have been reported, and all patients have been treated and transported to the local hospitals. Damage assessments. Chief Maroney did speak about a specific number. We are still vetting that through on the city side, so more information to come, and we will message that as soon as we can validate that. Approximately 400 LAFD firefighters have been deployed to the Palisades fire. We have many hundreds of law enforcement officers, our partner agency responders, and public works members engaged in supporting our overall operations. We are going to be transitioning to CAL FIRE this morning to manage this incident at 0800 hours. Next, I'd like to talk briefly about our Hearst fire, which is located in Sylmar. Last night at approximately 10:10 p.m., the fire erupted in the Sylmar area of Los Angeles, adjacent to the Los Angeles National Forest. The fire has rapidly expanded to over 500 acres, prompting the emergency evacuation of more than 3,000 residents. This fire is burning within the footprint of the historic Saddle Ridge fire. Now, despite the extreme winds and significant risks, and that's what we're going to be talking about from today and probably throughout the next few days, there's always that significant risk of life and property, and we'll continue to focus on saving lives and protecting property. The exact anchorage at this point will be confirmed later, and we'll make sure that we communicate that to you as well. Lastly, we want to make sure that everybody understands we are absolutely not out of danger yet. With the strong winds that continue to push through the city and the county today, I would tell you, and we are all committed to our first responders, our firefighters will remain focused on protecting lives and property. The LAFD is extremely proud to stand with all of the entities behind me. Our top priority will continue to be life safety, ensuring that safe evacuation and the rescues of our residents that are in harm's way. It will continue to be our primary focus in this wind-driven fire event as it continues. Thank you for your cooperation, your support, and your vigilance. And today, we will continue to stand with our partners to protect everyone. Next up, I would like to introduce Sheriff Luna. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Next up. Oh, we moved it. Okay.
Yes, we're just moving around, having LA Unified Superintendent Alberto Carvalho, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chair Barger, county and city leadership, in addition to the leadership of our first responders in our great community for the very, very important work you continue to do to protect our community, protect the assets, and first and foremost, the health and well-being and lives of members of our community. Los Angeles Unified is the second largest school district in the nation, representing the interests of 540,000 students and 75,000 committed employees. We make decisions regarding closure of schools in a very methodical and science-driven manner. So after a great deal of consultation overnight with experts looking at the data and considering the fact that air quality conditions deteriorated significantly overnight, we have made the decision to shut down a number of schools, particularly in the eastern part of our school system. I will define what those boundaries are. School communities, beginning with leadership, workforce, and families, have been informed about these areas. And as of now, those schools within the boundaries of the area that I will define are closed. This accounts for about 10% of our total schools in our district, about 100 schools out of 1,000 schools. The areas that I'm speaking about are schools located north of Manchester Boulevard, Firestone Boulevard, east of 10th Avenue, west of I-710, and south of Highway 134. Any school within that area, and that accounts again for the eastern part of our district, where the air quality met or exceeded levels that are not appropriate for employees or students to be around, are effectively shut down. We will be making decisions about what will happen in those schools going into tomorrow by 4 p.m. today based on the evolution conditions. In fact, since we made the decision to shut down those schools, air quality conditions have improved significantly despite the fact that they worsened significantly overnight. I want to speak specifically about schools surrounding the Palisades area. As of last night, we had to shut down 5 schools as a result of mandatory evacuation conditions. Those were Kinter Canyon Elementary School, Canyon Elementary School, Marquez Elementary School, Palisades Charter Elementary School, Revere Middle School, and Topanga Elementary School, in addition to Palisades High Charter High School. We have reports that Palisades High sustained significant damage as a result of the fire. We are working with state and federal entities to quickly access resources to address the issues facing this community. I want to very briefly address our workforce. We know today is not going to be a perfect day. A number of schools are shut down. However, localized conditions may make it difficult for our workforce or parents and students to access schools. Air quality conditions may vary and in fact may not necessarily be appropriate beyond the area where we close schools. Please use your discretion. We will utilize grace and be flexible regarding attendance and for students and employees alike. Specifically, students and employees who face chronic respiratory conditions or other health issues. We will be flexible regarding these individuals. We will provide additional updates later on today regarding conditions of schools going into tomorrow. For the schools that are open, recognizing the workforce needs of the parents of our children, beyond the bell activities, care for children in those schools will continue to be provided today. Today is not a typical day. We need flexibility, patience, and grace, and we shall extend that to our workforce and certainly our parents and students in our community. Once again, our hearts go out to those who have been impacted and our eternal gratitude to the first responders of our community for the fantastic, difficult work they've done over the past 24 hours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chair Funes.
Morning. A lot of information to pass on, but please know this. This is a very difficult and challenging situation, but we're surrounded here by people who really care, and we're going to get through this together. That means with all of you as partners in our community. Our top priority continues to be the safety and well-being of our impacted residents, first responders, and all of the individuals involved. But understand that this is a very fluid situation, specifically in the Altadena area, and a lot of our personnel, our deputy personnel, are involved in life-saving measures as we speak now. We are working very closely with local, state, and federal agencies to provide necessary resources and support. We have been in constant communication with both our fire and law enforcement partners across LA County and beyond to ensure that all available resources that are needed are being deployed strategically and effectively, but we are prioritizing life over everything else. There are over several hundred sheriff department personnel working around the clock to evacuate residents in danger, assist with road closures, and respond to multiple missions that are given to us, and they do change periodically depending on that life mission. To ensure that everyone is going to be safe or safe as possible, additional personnel will likely be assigned to this fire as this continues to go, and you heard from our fire partners that there is no containment yet. I do want to split it up into two. I want to start talking about the Eaton fire first. Currently, there are evacuation orders in Pasadena, Altadena, and Sierra Madre. Evacuation orders, there are approximately 32,500 residents under evacuation orders and approximately 13,186 structures that we deem at risk, and that could grow. Evacuation warnings, approximately 38,600 residents are under evacuation warnings and approximately 14,342 structures are at risk. At 4 a.m. this morning, the evacuation orders did expand to parts of the city of Duarte, Monrovia, and La Cañada. And again, we continue to assess that. That's evolving. That's going to change. So I encourage you to consistently pay attention to all sources of information so you're ready to go when you are given that order, if that does come. As information's changing, even as I was driving up here, even as I'm walking up to this podium, I'm getting messages about several of our employees who have lost their homes in the last several hours. I don't know how many because we are still gathering that information, but like all we all live here in Los Angeles County, so we are impacted. So we're going to make sure that within our department, we're wrapping our arms around our employees just like we do with community members. Again, as I was coming up here, I did find out that we did have 2 fatalities in this area. I don't have any specifics. There is a lot of damage out there. We're still in the process of doing these assessments, trying to still save lives. So this information is going to change. The Altadena Sheriff's Station itself was evacuated, and it was at least limited on fire. There was some fire at the Altadena station, but we did have to clear out all of our employees out of there. I'm hearing some miraculous stories, and they're just barely coming in, of our deputies who were trying to evacuate the Altadena station, and then residents were running up from different locations around there asking them for assistance in getting them out of their structures. And from what I understand, they were barely able to get people out before these structures started burning. There's just heroic stories of what our deputies are doing out there from last night and this morning. I want to make sure people know deputies are working to assist residents who are evacuating and continuing to make evacuation notices as we're speaking. They are securing areas that are evacuated, and it's always sad when I have to say this, but part of our responsibility is to make sure that no one loots or steals from our residents, our community members who are already being impacted. And I'm sad to report we've made 2 arrests this morning for looting already. So if you are thinking about coming into any of these areas to steal from our residents, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be caught, you're going to be arrested, and you're going to be prosecuted. Don't do that. Stay out of these areas. It's only for emergency workers and people who live there. We are, at this point, unable to clearly determine the extent of damage at this point because the conditions are rapidly evolving and the destruction needs to be assessed as the daylight hours have come forward. I do know that I've lost at least 1 sheriff's black and white to a fire. Thank God that the deputy is okay. But deputies continue to be on patrol throughout the road closure areas to ensure evacuation areas remain closed to the public. All schools in the Pasadena Unified School District are closed. There is a road closure at Altadena Drive from Allen to New York Drive. For those in need of shelter, please head to the Pasadena Convention Center, located at 300 East Green Street in the city of Pasadena, and we're working with them in unified command and in partnership as well. For animals, there are established shelters at Large Animal Shelter Rose Bowl Stadium, at 1001 Rose Bowl Drive in Pasadena, Small Animal Shelter Pasadena Humane Society at 361 South Raymond Avenue in Pasadena. I'm going to switch gears now to the Palisades fire that we've been heavily involved in with our partners, again with LAPD and LA City Fire and everyone else that's up there working. As of this morning, the fire was still burning in that area. That's impacting our residents. Evacuations are in effect, continuously in effect, for the city of Calabasas, the city of Malibu, Los Angeles City, Pacific Palisades, and unincorporated area of Los Angeles County and Topanga Canyon. Evacuation orders are approximately 37,000 residents under evacuation orders and approximately 15,000 structures at risk. Again, that's specifically for the Palisades fire. Evacuation warnings, approximately 20,000 residents are under evacuation warnings and approximately 6,500 structures are at risk. There have been minor injuries, and our partners at the fire department have talked about those, and several, unfortunately, structures that have been lost, and we're still assessing those. Bear with me, I'm almost there. There's a lot of information, very important information. There are several road closures which can change rapidly. The 10 freeway at Lincoln Boulevard, southbound PCH at Las Flores Canyon, southbound PCH at Topanga.
All right, we have been monitoring a news conference underway in Los Angeles describing the impact, what authorities know so far about the various fires burning in Southern California, the largest of which is in Pacific Palisades, some 5,000 acres. destroyed there. Another large one to the northeast of Los Angeles, near Altadena, the Pasadena area, where there have been 2 fatalities. Overall, over 1,000 structures have been damaged or destroyed in these fires. A third fire burning in the Sylmar area, that would be north of Los Angeles. Let's go straight to Jacob Soberoff in Palisades, California right now. This is the scene we've been watching throughout the night and into the early part of today. Homes, many of them beachfront homes along the famed Pacific Coast Highway, destroyed. Jacob, describe the situation there now. The sun obviously up. How is that affecting things?
Lester, it feels, and I'm trying not to exaggerate here, catastrophic, disastrous. Something I think the likes of which people like myself, who's a lifelong resident not only of Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, but also of this neighborhood of Pacific Palisades, where I was born and raised, has never seen before. There are 23,000 people that live in this beautiful coastal community between the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains and the Pacific Ocean. And those tens of thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate because of exactly what you're seeing. This used to be a house, and everywhere you look, there are scenes just like this. Up and down Sunset Boulevard, the famed Sunset Boulevard from where I'm standing right now, all the way into the Palisades Village, every marker of this once vibrant community is gone. The grocery stores are gone, both of them. The gas stations are gone. Doctors' offices are gone. The public library, where I grew up going as a child and have brought my own children, gone. What's different about this? How could this have happened? These are the questions that I continue to hear asked. And the answer is what you heard in that press conference. The reason that the air quality is so awful right now, as they were discussing, is that these are hurricane force winds that we have seen gusting in the Los Angeles area. And it was a tinderbox ready to go. We have had virtually no rain over the course of the last several months after 2 years of pretty intense rain, unusual for Southern California, where we're so used to droughts. And everything went up in an instant. It started in the Palisades Highlands, where you might have seen those pictures of what seemed like hundreds of cars abandoned on the side of the road, people literally running for their lives, bulldozers clearing the streets so first responders could come in. And to echo what you heard from the folks looking out for the life and safety of the people in Los Angeles at that press conference, there's a mutual aid situation going on right now in Los Angeles, meaning it's the Los Angeles City Fire Department, the Los Angeles County Fire Department, neighboring jurisdictions like Malibu, Santa Monica have come to help here. The Los Angeles Police Department is on a modified citywide tactical alert, which means some of the nearly 9,000 or 10,000 police officers that are all called into duty today throughout the city of Los Angeles are being dispatched here to not only order evacuations from people who may not have left, and if there are anybody who is still in a home right now, it is well past time to get out, but also to control traffic, to keep people out, to let the first responders do their job. Lester, I think a lot of times we think about what the big one might look like as far as an earthquake in Southern California. Well, this is the big one when it comes to a fire here, Lester.
Yeah, Jacob, I've been covering wildfires in Northern and Southern California since the earliest days of my career, going back into the late 70s. I've never seen anything like this. Do you agree?
There's no doubt about it. The idea that L.A. is a city of communities, Lester. You know this just as well as anyone from the time that you have spent here. And Pacific Palisades is one of those vibrant communities. Pacific Palisades, for all intents and purposes, as we know it, has been wiped off the map as I'm speaking to you today from a neighborhood that I grew up a couple streets away from, Lester. It is a bleak situation. It's going to take not months but years to recover, and countless dollars, the toll of which we don't know yet.
All right, Jacob, I know you and your team are putting in the long hours in a dangerous situation, so please stay safe. Let's go to Al Roker now. Let's get the latest in the forecast, Al. The worst is yet to come. There's still some high winds in this storm, or this windstorm.
That's right, and it is, you know, Lester, you actually, this is for all intents and purposes a fire cane. Okay, we're talking about hurricane force winds with a firestorm attached to it. Right now, almost 3,000 acres. The Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, 2,200 acres. Hearst fire, 500, and we're actually picking up particulate matter from on the radar from these fires. That's how bad it is. Winds, gusts right now, sustained winds, 45 to 95 miles per hour, as you can see for Topanga Canyon, all the way to Pacific Palisades. Now, here's what we are looking at. This is what's causing all these problems, these destructive winds with 100-mile-per-hour gusts. We're talking about the humidity, single digits, and that leads to explosive fire growth. So 19 million people at risk north of Ventura all the way down to San Diego. It's a particularly dangerous situation. And the fire risk right now, critical, just north of Los Angeles to Santa Clarita and Oxnard, all the way down to Temecula and further south. We've got a critical to extreme risk for these areas. Here's what's happening. We've got a pressure gradient, high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south, and those winds are being squeezed between the two pressure systems. And what that's doing is bringing those Santa Ana winds, powerful winds coming in here. Add to that the low humidity and the fact that since October 1st, less than 10% of average rainfall has fallen in Southern California. And again, those winds, the big problem. Wind gust 69 in Simi Valley, Los Angeles 63, Mission Viejo 52-mile-per-hour wind gust, and that's going to be the problem over the next 12 to 18 hours. Those wind gusts are going to be such that it's going to be hard for those firefighters to put up aircraft to be able to take a look at what's going on and to drop water on them, Lester. So right now, we've got at least another 18 hours of explosively dangerous conditions.
Not good at all. Al Roker, thank you. And that concludes this NBC News special report. We'll have much more ahead on our streaming network, NBC News Now, online at NBCnews.com, and of course, a full wrap-up tonight when I see you here for NBC Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt. Good day, everyone.